Alright, it's time to finish the game. Even though my body says no. That trial 7 years ago was the beginning of it all. This I know beyond doubt. The mysteries of the past work their magic on the present, but you'll soon be finding all this out for yourself. Which of Magnify's Gramarye's disciples pulled that trigger? Where did the vanishing defendant Zach Gramarye go? What dark truth lurks behind the forged diary page? And what about the girl who was left behind? Oh. The past left us these 4 keys to unlocking the truth. But that's not all. There are 4 keys in the present as well. And when all the questions have found their answers, the final trial will begin. But first, you must chase the truth through then and now. Think of it as a game. Hey Phoenix. I, Phoenix Wright, will be your guide through this game. That terrible trial saw me present forged evidence. It ended half-finished when the defendant vanished. What became of me after that? As your investigation proceeds, the answer will become clear. Oh, and one more thing. There is something I must tell you. As Apollo Justice has his bracelet, so too do I have my own weapon of sorts. A Magatama. What does it do, you ask? That I would have for you to see for yourself. Well now, shall we begin? Touch the arrow to switch between past and present. But let's begin 7 years ago in the past. It is right after my last trial came to an abrupt end. Now that you know the game, let's play. Oh, that's cool. The nightmare trial was over, and the new nightmare of figuring out what had happened had just begun. I wanted to wake up to walk away, but I figured I'm the only one who could do this, probably, and besides, I had plenty of time, thanks to the Bar Association Review Board's decision. It's hard to work when your attorney's badge has been taken away. What strange sight doth mine eyes behold? Excuse me? 2 men on either side of a single transparent pane. It seems fickle fate has switched sides, so to speak. The forger of fakes walks freely, while the innocent languishes in the plexiglass confines. There's been no proof I have forged anything, nor proof that I took the life of my dear mentor. Yet, these chains cannot hold me for long. The stage awaits, and what, may I ask, awaits you? A little piano and a cold little hole in the wall. But since you are here, what shall we discuss? The shooting of Magnified Gramarye for one. Who pulled that trigger, Valant or his partner Zach? His partner vanished before the answer could be found. If I'm going to get any closer to the truth, this is the place to start. That guard keeps stealing glances in the direction and scratching his head. Maybe a resident magician showed him a trick or two. Smile, you're on candid camera. I just had to say it. Old habits die hard. Maybe I should do a few tricks for the viewers at home. Come on, Phoenix. Oh, just a little thinking moment here. I had to hand it to my partner. He knows how to make an exit. That's talent. Yeah, he made my attorney's badge disappear, and he never even touched it. Glory's spotlight always leaves someone weeping in the shadows, and his very disappearance itself is a revelation. Revealing what? Zach Gramarye killed Magnify. It's as good as signed confession. That's certainly been public opinion's take on it. I grew tired of my cage, and the time of my release is near. I must go and prepare. Planning on jumping back into the magic right away? As long as an audience waits with bated breath, there will be Valant, and also, yes, now that my partner has disappeared, Magnify's repertoire is mine. Valant Gramarye has an audition to uphold. Is that true? Seen in this light, the trial was quite good to me, verdict or no. And you can't pay for that kind of publicity. fuck you. I wanna fucking kill you. The suspicion on you hasn't lifted entirely, Volant. After all, you received one of those letters too. You were just as obligated to follow Magnify's instructions as your partner. So I was, but only as Zach Gramarye followed them. A great magician never reveals his secrets. Only 4, okay. Okay, I don't have enough evidence, so I need to go back. Magatama, one of my most prized possessions, which I got during a certain case. It can show me the locks on people's hearts. And if I can unlock their hearts, they'll tell me their secrets. The Magatama starts it all. And the Magatama ends it. What a theme. Oh boy. A Greenor defense attorney I happen to meet. I call him Apollo. He's 15? Oh, he's 15 now, but he's 22 later. Christoph Gavin, incarcerated at the Central Penitentiary for murder of Shady. Right, okay. Trucy's father, defendant in a trial, vanished just before the verdict was announced. Trucy Enigmar. Didn't think I'd be back here for a while. I didn't want to have to remember that day. Jesus fucking Christ, stop doing that. Okay, let's see when you go to the present. I sincerely doubt I can find anything in here. I'll examine though. I hate you, plant. Just kidding. Let's go present day. Oh, I can't even do that. I have to go through the first things first. Is there a way to, like, get out of here? How about the right and go offices? Trucy, there's something we need to talk about. It's been 2 weeks since your father disappeared. We need to start thinking about your future. I did some calling around. This is hard to say, but you have no living relatives. So, I was wondering if you wanted to stay with me for a while. Just until your daddy comes home. It won't be long. I hope. Of course, it's totally your choice. If you don't like it here, you can go wherever you like. I could look up some places you might like to stay at. This is so weird. Mr. Attorney, Dad told me about you. He said I can trust you. Huh? Really? So if I stay here, does that mean you'll be my family? Huh? I guess so? Getting weirder. Mr. Attorney? Actually, why don't you just call me Nick? Or you can call me Daddy if you like. It doesn't have to be today or anything. Okay, say Daddy. That was quick. Yes? If I move here, I have to switch schools, right? And I was thinking I haven't paid for lunches at my last school for a year. So thanks, Dad. Oh. In this office, it's a little bland. A little color goes a long way, you know. Ah. Oh, and Dad, you got fired from work, right? Don't worry one bit. I'll work twice as hard. We'll make it through this. Trucy, how old are you? Oh, I'm 8. But don't let appearances deceive you. I'm a young professional. Stick with me and you'll do just fine, Dad. Thanks. Why does it feel like she's already in charge? Oh my god, that's sick as fuck. So, Dad, you got fired from being a lawyer, right? You could at least kind of look aside or something when you say that. It's actually kind of hard for me, for Dad. Oh, I'm sorry, Dad. Wait, is that foolish pride? My other dad always used to talk about that. Actually, that's pretty accurate. So here's my idea. We'll make a new office. Law just seems so stiff, doesn't it? And no one will be my friend at school that way. Well, that won't do, I guess. I just don't know much about anything other than law. Or even much about law, if you were to ask some people. Maybe the problem is calling it an office. Maybe we should call it an agency instead. You mean, like, a talent agency? Forgive me for asking, but doesn't that require talent? You got me, don't ya? Like a professional. A professional. Yup! After all, I am directly descended from the famous Zach Gramarye. Directly descended? He's your father. Oh, And I'm now directly descended from the famous Phoenix Wright, too. I think an 8-year-old just massaged my ego. Could you tell me a bit about my dad? Or Zach Grammary? Dad? Sure thing. Which dad was that again? Dads are so amazing. The big start of the true Grammary, and they're big. The Grammaries, they were on television a lot. Haven't seen them on much recently, come to think of it. Big magic happens when you put Zach and Valant together, you know. Once they made a giant waterfall right there on stage. And this giant trout swam up the giant waterfall. Let me guess, there was a giant fisherman waiting for him at the top. I wish I could have seen more of Dad's magic, though. I shouldn't have brought that up so soon. I wonder what will happen to me with Dad and Mom gone. Mom? Yeah, what about Mom? I haven't heard of anything about Trucy's mom. But I have my magic, and a great dad, even if he's unemployed. You know, I think things are going to be okay. I wonder if she'll talk about her mom. Could you tell me about your mom, if it's okay? Mom was so pretty. She was like an angel up on stage. On stage, you mean with your dad? Yep. She was always there with Zach and Valant, smiling. But then she went away. Went away? It was a grand illusion, but she made a mistake. She vanished, and I guess she didn't know how to get back. Maybe so. I cried then a lot. That's when Dad gave me this, here. This is your mom? She's beautiful. Her name's Thalassa. Thalassa Grammary. Poor girl, I didn't know her mom had gone missing. And now her dad's vanished too, right before her eyes. Hey, Nick, you won't... Don't worry, I won't vanish, I promise. Right, you can't even do magic. You're like a backup plan. Dad always had to have a backup plan. I guess all I rate up is a backup plan. So Trucy, you're a professional. Yeah, it's like that thing they say. Baby frogs grow up to be frogs. They say that? I always thought it was funny though. What was? Aren't baby frogs called tadpoles? Maybe they thought it would be easier to understand the way for kids. How stupid. Right. So in conclusion, you're a professional magician, Trucy. That's right. Well, wanna see a trick? You're gonna do a magic trick? Actually, I would like to see your trick. The future of the agency depends on it, after all. That's the spirit. Ready? Here it goes. Ta-da! Hey folks, this is Mr. Hat. I gotta say, it's a good machine. What the fuck? Whoa, that was startling. The amazing Mr. Hat, isn't he great? Your friendly neighborhood Mr. Hat, that's just us. He certainly makes an impression. Doesn't he? I'm so glad you like him, Dad. Though my routines get a bit heady at times. Get it? My friendly neighborhood Mr. Hat nearly gave me a heart attack. I think that's probably enough for today. Sorry to ask you for so much all at once like that. It's okay. After all, we're family. I just hope you're ready. The Right Talent Agency opens tomorrow. What? But are we representing anyone? Me and you. That makes 2, Dad. I think you need more than that to make an agency, to be honest. Besides, you may be a magician, but I'm no talent. Oh, I'm sure there's something you're good at. Well, when you put it that way, you mean you don't have any tricks? No old standbys? This will not do. A boy should always have a trick or 2 in his pocket. Okay, I'll think of something. That's the spirit. See you bright and early tomorrow, Dad. Welcome to the team, Daddy-o. The team, right. It's so adorable. That's how Trucy became Trucy Wright, my daughter. To be honest, I was pretty lost those first few days. Thinking back on it, it was a pretty dark time in my life. But Trucy, happy, smiling Trucy, she was my light. Aw, Phoenix. I know exactly what I need to do now. What's that? That girl's favorite trick, the amazing Mr. Hat. She uses it in her show down at the Wonder Bar. Have you been to the Wonder Bar? So, it wasn't a waking dream, was it, sir? Come again? That night, on stage, I saw a vision, except it wasn't a vision. It was a hat. An amazing Mr. Hat. He really exists. Thank you for the life. Zach Gramery exited the courtroom. I gave chase and cornered him in the corner room, sir. Down on your hands, floor on your head. Hello? Something the matter, mister? No, that is... Sir, I'm currently chasing a suspect, sir. Zach Gramery, do you know him? Oh, I love Zach Gramery. His magic is the best. I'm his biggest fan. I see. That's why you're wearing the costume you're wearing. Anyway, the very same Zach came into this room. But no one's been in here except me. But he has to be in here somewhere. Under the sofa, in the trash can, behind the painting, under the rug. So, Trucy was his accomplice. Imagine my astonished surprise when 1 week later, I just happened to walk into a bar and see him, Mr. Hat. I couldn't believe my own eyes. For a while, I thought it had all been a dream. A dream that lasted a week? What the fuck? But it wasn't the magician who disappeared. It was Mr. Hat. Though it seems complex, what really happened that day was quite simple. You were standing by the door, and out came Zach. But that wasn't all. Another person got in the act, and she was standing in front of the lobby number 2. Along with Mr. Hat. And that's the beauty of it, isn't it? So, while you were standing in the shock and amazement, the magician rounds the corner, and most likely runs through the closest door into lobby number 1. This is where you come in. You turn the corner in a rather lukewarm pursuit, and that very moment, Trucy runs into lobby number 2. Then all she has to do is tuck away the amazing Mr. Hat. Sir, I only lost sight of him for the briefest of moments. Then I saw that cape. Zach Gramery's red cape fluttering like a cape. Astounding, sir. All my days of posing queries and making inquiries and chasing queries wasted. It was as if I could see them melting away like an ice cream cone left by the side of the road to die, or the scattered remains of a messy eaten chocolate parfait. Such sweet sorrows. I'm sorry. I had no idea how much you suffer on account of this case. It's an honor, sir. I've apologized to people many, many times, sometimes more than once. But this is the first time anyone's ever apologized to me. Actually, about that girl. I'm sorry to her guardian now. I'm sort of a guardian now. Is that so? Sir, you should know that I harbor no ill feelings whatsoever to my harbor. Okay. I'll let the defendant escape. That's the stolen cold truth. There's another step on my way from singing the blues to wearing the blues. Someday, sir, I'll be standing side by side with the great detective Mr. Meekins. This is a free ticket to the show at the Wonder Bar. If you want, it's an honor, sir. Sir, I can't count the number of things I've had taken from me, sir. But no one's ever given me anything for free. Right, I'll see you in the court next time then, sir. I'll look forward to it. Is that foreshadowing? Oh god. Ear rape. Borscht Club. Alright. Present day, Borscht Club. It's Christoph. And I guess I'll go back to my piano. To be honest, it's better when you aren't playing. This frigid culinary dungeon almost feels comfortable. Later then. 2 hours left on my shift. Wonder if we'll get any customers tonight. Do you know who I am? Who I am? No, but if you hum it, I can play it. Just kidding, I don't do requests. How about a different sort of request? You see, I play cards. Oh, a customer. I was just hoping someone would come in and save me from a night of the keys. I seek a true competition. I have heard the Borscht Club is a place for this. Now I see the rumor is true. And this is? A friend of yours? He will not be playing tonight. When his business is finished, I shall send him home. That is totally fucking Zach Grammary. It's all coming together now. Look at that. Look at that shit. Oh my god. Talassa. This competition will be between us, no others. The Right Talent Agency represents 2 artists, and I'm number 2. I play piano, well, sort of. It's actually just a front for my real talent, which is playing poker. Don't ask me how I got started, I don't remember. But I'm good, real good. And it didn't take long for the rumor to get around. Go to the Borscht Club if you want a real game. That guy's never lost. People don't come to hear me tickle the ivory. They come to watch me play cards. Is this a seedy poker club? Nah, it's a restaurant. We don't play for high stakes. There's no money involved. But real players carry cash, and they're always thirsty. It's a handy source of income for the club owner. Then let's compete. I'll take you to the room. Oh, No, Phoenix Wright. Huh? You must always look a man in the eye when you make their introductions. You still do not know who I am? Have we met? Oh my god! You can't be, but you're Zach Grammary? Yeah, the reincarnation act of the century. Pity I only have an audience of 1. You, Zach Grammary. This must be a bad dream. In a sense, this guy ruined my life. You there? Da? We will play soon. Ready the room. I will be preparing the hideout for you. Are you really him, the Zach Grammary? Now I'm Shady Smith, remember this. How many years has it been now? 6? In exactly 3 days from now, it will be 7. I caused you much inconvenience, I fear. Yeah, you could say that. Is she well? Trucy, I mean. She's fine. I've got her working already. Hope you don't mind. I hardly need to express my gratitude, but you have it. This is why I have come. That, and to settle a matter of cards. By which you mean poker? Those eyes, he's serious. I despise losing above all else. And so, I have decided I will win tonight, no matter what it takes. I know this guy's type, and they're dangerous. Everything's about the competition, all else is secondary. Perhaps we should take some talk before we play. I know you have much to ask me. And you. It's actually him. Fuck yeah, cunt. Mr. Zan, could you tell me about this? Mr. Wright, we won't meet for the first time in 7 years, and you offer me this? Please. It wasn't a present. This guy's a hard sell. Probably won't get a rise out of him unless I show him something real interesting. We competed that day 7 years ago, too. Ah, yes, you must have been surprised. Called to the detention center out of the blue. You choose your defense attorneys by playing poker. Some are hired, others fired. When you compete, you see a man's true nature. You know what I speak of. I know that you do. Trucy's power? Trucy? She is in a class of her own. For 7 years, I've played poker here at the Borscht Bowl Club. I've never lost once. I'm good, but not that good. I win because whenever there's a big game, I bring in Trucy. And she sends me signals. Daddy, he's got a good hand. He might have a chance if you act quick. Better call him soon. Can you tell me what her power is? Judging a person's thoughts by reading their reactions is stable performance magic, but those of Trucy's line possess far greater skill. Her line? Recall if you were the second man to whom I've lost. Magnify Gramarye. That was the first time I learned of this power, as you call it. Wait, so you're saying her power is genetic? It's just in the Gramarye blood or something? Blood. I'm sorry, but it is not something to tell lightly to outsiders, and there's nothing you need to know at this time. It's some kind of Gramarye secret then. Fine. She's 15 this year? She's still trying her best to follow in your footsteps, you know. When I planned my disappearing act, it was the thought of her alone that gave me pause. Wait, you were planning on vanishing from the get-go? Yes, and for that, I must apologize. However, I could not be found guilty that day. Because of this. This? A transferal of rights. You see the signature? A transferal? That's Magnify's Gramarye signature, isn't it? I hereby give all rights to the secret, staging, and performance of my magic to the recipient named below. Recipient Zach Gramarye, Magnify Gramarye. Yes, it is I. Wait, this page looks torn. You recall the diary, yes? Once again, I must apologize. It was all I could do to prepare for my escape from that courtroom. The greatest of Magnified Gramarye's illusions are true art. As such, they are well protected by this document. Only its bearer might perform his illusions on stage. Sounds like a pretty important thing to have if you're his disciple. As a rightful heir to this art, I too wanted a rightful heir. Rightful? I'm sure you know who I chose as my successor. Your daughter. That is why I have risked all to come here tonight. Brushel. Sir! Ah, here you go. What's this? A letter passing the rights I have inherited to Trucy. I wonder I would have you sign here as a witness. But I'm not a lawyer anymore. And you need a public notary besides. Your signature, please. This is the first reason I have come here tonight. So this is what it is. It's been 7 years, he said. Precisely. There's a law that covers your situation. After 7 years, missing persons are considered to be legally deceased. So if someone were to vanish from the face of the earth 7 years ago, they would lose all rights as a living person after 7 years from that day. Not to mention all of their possessions. Exactly, which is why I am here. I will destroy my face in the public for the sake of this document, before my 7 years are up. You might say, I am securing my daughter's inheritance. But do you really need this document? Wouldn't Trucy inherit your estate automatically? Not in this case, I'm afraid. This case? Yes, I received the performance rights from Magnify Grammary. However, this was done in secret without witnesses. Before Magnify died, 2 potential successors were to his repertoire were named. Myself, Zach Grammary, and Volant Grammary. Not Trucy. I see. So you do need this document. I've known Brushel since before I vanished. He is a man I trust. Now only 3 know of my rebirth. I took the liberty of looking into Trucy's background, and found you had no other close kin. It is I used to say. Okay. I was kind of hoping he'd say something about the mother at this point. I know everyone else, but Trucy's mom is a mystery. Present the mom. Oh, here we go. This person in the photo is Trucy's mom? How did you come by this? Trucy showed it to me. She said her mother was gone. Then it is so. Huh? She is gone. What more is there to say? Lot? I know. Whoa, what the fuck? You're still here? Trucy's mother magnifies only daughter, end quote. Is that true, Mr. Zach? Zach decked him. In any case, Mr. Wright, this discussion is over. The Lhasa Grammary, she's the most mysterious of the whole lot. I need to gather me some more information, or evidence, clearly. Well, the prelude may have been longer than the main attraction. Shall we begin our game? My final competition? Final? Why? As you said, I have come out of hiding today to make this document legally binding. Once that is done, I shall slip once more underground. Without seeing your daughter? It would be best if I did not. 7 years ago, we played. 7 years ago, I lost. I already lost to Magnify. I do not care to lose to another. And I have heard that you never lose. It's just a rumor. Yes, for it is impossible to never lose, unless one has an ace up one's sleeve. As a magician, it causes me no end of irritation to think a mere lawyer might be out there pulling the wool over so many eyes. Hey, I just signed your document for you. Maybe you could try lining up. That was that. This is this. For my final competition, I will destroy your record, Phoenix Wright. This will be my final performance. You are warned. This guy is beyond fucking serious. So much for having a fun evening with cards. Brushel, you may leave. Ah, but it's your last game. I mean, what a scoop. I punch, and I punch, but still it's not enough. Get the fuck out of here. That's a really nice cell, actually. It's Gavin's. Well, well, isn't this an unexpected surprise? What errand brings you down into my cramped confines? Gavin. You look well, Phoenix Wright. You too, Gavin. Ooh. The theme. Delicious. Oh! There it is! That's the yellow envelope that was fucking mailed out from the fucker. It's strange, you know. Here I am in solitary, and yet the books keep piling up. Looks like you've got more than books up there. Ah, yes, my collection. I have a few friends on the prison staff. They show me a little kindness. Just a little? Of course, just a little. Nice roses. You taking care of this one here? Ah, yes. She's surprisingly delicate, you know. Requires careful tending, but she is my best friend, as they say. Best? Come on. Now I'm starting to feel bad for you. Oh? Of course. She's known to bite if handled roughly. Your rose fucking bites? I was speaking of the photo next to the rose. My retriever, Bong-ol, cute but feisty. Every dog has its thorn. I don't even see any dog in that shit. Get back into this shit. Christ, my asshole is still fucking raw right now. Bird? You'd have to add 2 digits to the price of the standard prison issue chair for this. Those prison chairs don't look so bad either. Maybe I should redecorate. What do you think about this, Gavin? I hardly need to remind you that I am not a free man. I care little about the outside world, save advances in chair technology. No information forthcoming there, I guess. You recall that case 7 years ago? The trial where Zach Gramery pulled his famous vanishing act. My brother won his fair share of praise in the adoration for that trial, as I recall. Genius prosecutor reveals crooked attorney, was it? That was when I met you, wasn't it? Was it now? The Bar Association Review Board voted unanimously for strictest punishment. Unanimous, save for one dissenting opinion, yours. It was my brother who was responsible for putting you in that position, after all. For 7 years, we've been friends. And yet, I still don't understand you. Right, your friendship toward me was never pure. You suspected me then as you still do now, don't you? Honestly, right now, I'm not sure what I think. Life has been full of surprises for the both of us. I've no doubt you never expected to lose that attorney's badge of yours. me it isn't. I need to know why you did it, Gavin. You didn't just brain a guy with a juice bottle for no reason. Tell me why you did it. Persistent, aren't you? I came here because I remembered something. The night of our game, Zach Gramery mentioned your name, Gavin. After that, he was killed, and I asked you to help me. Because I remembered your kindness back when everyone had turned on me. I have to know, why did you kill Shady Smith? Or, no, Zach Gramery. 5 blocks? There it is. Whoa! I've never seen Cyclops like these. Dark, cold, full of despair. Can I even unlock these things? Something wrong, right? No, it's nothing. You shouldn't push yourself so hard. Life is to be taken easy, you know. He's doing his nails. I didn't see that on the thing before. You're thinking, what self-respecting man would use nail polish? Not really. I know appearances are a big thing with you. You know what I say? One cannot live a beautiful life without beautiful nails. First rate in all things, except nothing else. And certainly does look like a first-rate nail polish. I like the sparkly bottle. It's crystal. If you're so drawn to it, please have one. It's on me. Oh, I realize what happened now. I think I know. Vera must have bit her nail with poison nail polish. Oh my god, no fucking wonder. No way, dude. That must have what been happened. No fucking way. Alright, looks like I can't do anything here. Jesus Christ, that's run down as fuck. Oh, look at her. Don't look at me with those eyes. I know what it is I do. More than half the paintings they bring me are stolen. And who knows what my copies are used for. But some of your works aren't paintings, correct? You may not believe me when I tell you this, but that was my first work outside painting. What? To think you would be used as evidence in a murder trial. I never even imagined the possibility. And why did you take the job? I was well paid. Very well paid. I think he feels worse about it than I do. The past is hard to escape. Honestly, the sooner I can put this behind me, the better. With apologies to you, of course. Sorry, but it's not going to be quite so easy. He's trying to forget what he made. Looks like I'll have to remind him. Judging from this place, you're a painter? Not, sadly, a profitable one. I never sold a painting. It's a source of considerable embarrassment. I would be able to get by if it were only me. Your daughter? Her mother grew weary of me and left. I don't want her to grow up needy, Mr. Wright. This is why I began my other occupation, forgeries. Your work. Don't try to pretend you've forgotten. Sure, all you did was make a copy, but in that copy might have destroyed the life of an innocent man. I'm responsible too, which is why I have to know. And you have to tell me. I knew it would be difficult to escape this. Then, let's talk. Well then, ready to tell me about this work you did? It was unlike anything I had attempted before. I guess it would have been a little different from paintings. That is not what I mean. In all my previous work, it sufficed to create a copy. This wasn't a copy? The client gave me two things that day. The first was a sample page as reference. The second, a painted document I can only surmise was written by my client. So he used the real writing as a reference to reproduce what the client wrote. Yes, as I said, it was my first job of that nature. So, who was your client? As I said in court, I do not know. Really? Even for such a suspicious request? If it was me, I'd want to know as much as I could about the requester. I never met them. Not personally, Ah, Cyclock, of course. It seems like you're still hiding something. Something about this work. I can pretty much piece together what it is from what you said. What is it then? You told me what you knew about the client, and I couldn't see any psycholocks. Psycholocks? Is there some sort of asylum security? A new hairstyle, perhaps? But then they did show up, didn't they? Not personally. Those words triggered the Psycholock. Again with the Psycholocks. Now I really must know what they are. So you didn't meet with the client, but someone else did. Maybe the real forger behind this evidence? Perhaps I hung up on this lock business. But I'm afraid you've lost me. Yeah, well, I didn't come here to talk about Cyclocks. As long as I come to the right conclusion, it doesn't matter how I got there. And your conclusion is? The real forger behind this wasn't you, Mr. Measham. Poppycock! I don't know what you're talking about. That is my work, I tell you. Made here in my studio. Who else could have been but me? That's the real question, isn't it? If the forger wasn't you, then I don't have many other people to choose from. The real forger at Drew's studio is...
Take that!
The real forger is your daughter, Vera Misham, isn't it?
Ridiculous. My daughter's only 12 years old, Mr. Wright. I've only always more than one landscapes, not for surrealism.
Nice comeback, but you're shaking in your boots. I've got you now. The only two people with access to the studio are you and your daughter. The Cyclops tell me you're not the forger, which makes your daughter the only possibility.
I feel very much on the verge of going psycho-lock myself. I don't know how you mean it, but you're right. The one who made this page was my daughter, Vera, not I. She's only 12. A genius, you might call her.
A precocious little girl outshining her father. There's been a lot of that going around recently.
I let her play in the studio and she watched me. She taught herself in that way. The drafting tools and analytical devices I bought when they became necessary. They're my little girl's playthings now.
Ah, so I detect a bit of fatherly pride. So, Vera was the one who made this page. Would she know who the client was then? Actually, the client came once.
Here, to the studio.
What? Why didn't you say so sooner?
But their face was covered. And they did not want to talk to me.
So, they talked to your daughter.
I will speak only with the artist,
The client told me. That little girl might know something about him. Okay, what do I do now? Maybe I should talk to her father a little bit more? Or is it time to turn my attention to Vera? Mr. Misham, I have a request.
Let me guess. You'd like to speak with my daughter.
Can I?
My daughter has never been known to talk to strangers. She's quite shy, extremely so actually. With only one exception.
Which was?
Oddly enough, it was that client. I left the studio while they talked. I returned when they had finished, and she was laughing. It was the first time I've seen anything of the sort.
Please, let me speak with her.
Alright. Hello.
Uh-oh, this could be tough. Vera, was it? I would like you to have a friendly chat. I'm Phoenix Wright, ex-lawyer and pianist. I'm still looking for the keys that say do, re, mi. Can't find them everywhere. I'm no good at this. I need something to get through to this girl. Paige. What do you think about this? I think I just made her nervous. I need something to grab her attention, but what? Vera, was it? I would like you to have a friendly chat. So I need to present her something. What do I present her with? Nail polish. I need to examine the room. Maybe I can grab something. Mmm. And then there's this. My stamp. Hey, she just spoke. She can talk. Yeah, so this stamp. How can I keep her talking? Isn't Troop Grammary amazing? Huh? Yes? Oh. I especially like those two, Zack and Volant. I mean, they're so magical. Aren't they? Aren't they? Yeah, whenever I go to one of their shows, I'm like, whoa, magic, you know? Me too, me too. Aw, she's so cute. It's like magic, yeah. Alright, she's talking. Not saying much, but it's a start. I went and saw Infant Father the other day. The opening ceremony at the Grammary Museum Magic. The Grammary Museum? They have one of those? I guess it makes sense now that they have their own commemorative stamp. So, have you been to one of their shows? Just once, when I was little, with Father. The Grammary is on stage. It's like a dream. Disappearing, reappearing, cutting apart, pulling back together. They do it all. Yeah. Maybe you can keep telling me stuff like this. You know, about Zack and Volant, maybe. Oh, okay. Alright, better get asking before she changes her mind. I don't go outside much. I like to paint in here. Why don't you like the outside? There's bad people out there. Well, true, but there's a lot of good people too. Actually, I should tell you, she was almost kidnapped once. Kidnapped? Since then, she's been well. You can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. I see. Wait, but that doesn't make sense. She said she went to the Grammary Museum. With you, in fact. Yeah, actually, she was quite insistent on it, much to my surprise. That was the first and last time she expressed such a desire to me. That person gave me a good luck charm. Good luck charm? For when I absolutely had to go outside. Yes, apparently she received something. A gift. From that client, actually. She won't tell me what it was.
Mother, I told you to keep that a secret.
From that client, huh? Then I have to hear about it. So your father tells me you're good at painting all sorts of things.
I really like painting. A lot. Father is always very happy when I paint them exactly the same.
So you did this too?
Oh yeah, that was my first job.
Your first?
All I used to do was paint the same thing I saw. But this was totally different. The pen slips and the way the wire around the pen, the pressure on the nib. I had to use a microscope and analyze it on the computer.
She seems happy. Odd, her work was the last nail in the Grand Marie coffin. I guess no one really told her.
You're the best in the world!
Huh? Oh, you mean the true Grand Marie? Of course. Father gave it to me. Your father? But I asked him about it. He didn't know how you got it.
Oh, I guess I just took it, yeah.
Took it?
Father got a letter from that person.
That person? You mean that letter was from the client?
No, we typed it by the Grand Marie's forever that day. I'm sure that's why I was sent that stamp. I didn't want to just send it back, so I took it.
They're a sneaky one, this client. So they were trying to get on her good side. So, you met the person that asked you to do this job? And you talk with them? What's this, a good luck charm you received?
I can't talk about it.
Eh?
If I do, it won't work anymore. That's what I was told.
Yeah, but I really have to know. Just two. Right, time to do some psych unlocking. You seem to trust this client quite a lot, in fact. Because they gave you this stamp?
No, that's not why. They listened to me, to my problem.
The problem that keeps her inside all the time?
I'll go outside if you don't want to.
That's what they told me.
But when I absolutely have to go out, all I had to do was use a good luck charm.
A good luck charm? That your client gave you? I think I know what your client might have given you, actually. Is this your good luck charm? This was what they gave you, wasn't it?
Oh,
The same bottle's over there on your desk. Your good luck charm, right?
I heard once. Cosmetics were once thought to ward off evil. This is a magic bottle. It has the power.
Ah, of course it does. I'll just refrain from commenting any more on that one.
I think I know who gave you that bottle, actually.
The one who asked you to do this job. Was this the client?
Take that!
This man is a friend of mine. You know him? His name is Christoph Gavin. He's a lawyer, actually.
I promised not to tell.
I feel bad.
Sorry, I can't talk about the client. I promise. If I break my promise, the spell won't work.
I don't need a name anymore. I've got my answer. You're pretty confident in this charm, then.
I think they might be the devil.
Huh?
Or maybe an angel.
What the fuck do you mean?
I saw it, or I think I saw it, when they gave me this. I saw the devil's face.
Are you saying the client's face looked like the devil's?
No. The client was gentle with a gentle smile.
So where did you see this devil then?
It was so quick. I don't remember well. But that's when I knew that person wasn't like the other people. That's why I believe in my good luck charm.
I'm not so sure what this devil she saw was, but it's pretty clear that Christoph Gavin has her charmed. Well, I think that's all. I'll be leaving now. I'm sorry for what happened. If you want to apologize, try my client, Zach Grammary.
Did I do something bad?
What makes you think that?
Your eyes, they're sad, very sad.
I'll put my smile next time I come, promise. I hope to see you smile then too, Vera. Oh, okay. Take care. Okay, let's talk. I can't even unlock it. Shit. No wonder. That means I gotta get over to... Alright, let's go. The trick up his sleeve. I'm flying by the seat of my pants on this one. There must be a path leading to the evidence for the truth, and that's what I'm going to find. To ask someone to take a life, even one not belong to this world. You don't agree, Mr. Milan. If you want my opinion, I would say there is something far, far more dangerous, and that is you. It's a little early for me to be making mistakes. Think deadly, and what's more deadly than a fatal accident? I could be the source of all that Grandmary's problem. I guess I need to go with... I need to go with fucking, I need to go with Zach. I have to know one more about this power of Trucy's. It's like she can see right into people's minds. The first time I saw her do it, it blew mine. And after you were done having her mind blown, you took her to play cards with you. Gotta use the resources at hand, I always say. Yeah, myself had no such power. But Trucy does. Why's that? Maybe Trucy got her power from her mother? Thalassa Grand Marie? I will not speak of that. Thalassa is officially missing, correct? And I think I know why you don't want to hurt it. I think I know why you don't want to talk about her. The three of you are a team once. Not that the entire country doesn't already know this. At your peak, you were the biggest stars around. Yet, there's another story behind the fame, one that not many know. Thalassa lost her life during a rehearsal, to you and Valant Gramarie's bullets. It was an accident! It wasn't me! How could I shoot my dear Thalassa? I'm sure Valant would say the same thing. Why, it's just like another murder I might mention. Damn you! Her eyes. I loved Thalassa's eyes. To think they could read my mind was frightening. Yet there was a warmth in them that felt like an embrace. She is dead, and Magnified Grand Marie has joined her. So the only one with her power enough now is Trucy? Mr. Zack? I don't know. I don't need any power to see through that one, buddy. So there's someone else. Someone other than Trucy. Someone who inherited Thalassa's power. Aha! How would I know? My chances are slim. It would take a miracle for her to learn the truth. Or maybe one has already occurred. There is someone else with the power. It's Apollo!
Take that!
This boy? His name is, I forget. Something weird. Who could he be? An attorney. Attorney? I noticed him when I went to visit a friend's offices. So, what are we to make of this? Oh, great ex-attorney. You can show me pictures of strange boys all you like, but you could at least say something like, I'm this boy, or I could use a laugh. Perhaps you wouldn't laugh if you knew the facts. This might not be 100% proof, but it's close. There's a link between this boy and Thalassa. Actually, it's more of a ring. A ring? Perhaps this will refresh your memory. I just so happen to have the evidence showing this missing link. I don't have Apollo's bracelet. What? That feels so great. Okay. I don't have his bracelet though. Do I need to look for a bracelet? I don't want to lose any more of the health points. don't have his bracelet. It's not gonna work because I straight up just don't have his. Fuck it. I'm gonna fuck back. I don't have a present day do studio or anything. So I need to go back to the past or something. The only way I have here is... I don't want to keep losing health points. I should have read that clearly. It said, what was the danger in the trick? It's the pistol. Why, that's one of ours. Specially designed for your show, I gather. A single bullet, one shot. What are you suggesting? We are magicians, Mr. Wright, not murderers. I'm not crying murder, Mr. Lott. I'm crying something far more tragic. An accident. What if one of your bullets took a life on stage? The performance of magic is not concerned with what-ifs. It is concerned with precision. Precisely whom do you claim we shot? Looks like I've chosen the right path. Let's hope that he walked with me. A life was sacrificed so the show might go on, and this shows who it was. That's Gramarye's wife, and Trucy's mom. Thalassa, I believe, was her name. But how can you say this? How can you say she was struck by one of our bullets? Still in denial mode, eh? Thalassa was at the greatest risk of being shot, and this clearly shows just how much danger she was in. Because fucking Zach told us that the accident happened. Troupe Gramarye's performances were very, very popular. So popular, they even made a commemorative stamp at the height of your fame. We were not merely the latest craze, we were an age, a golden age. It's all here on this stamp. There's Thalassa, yeah? Trucy's mom is missing, I hear. What happened to her? Oh, I don't know! Part of this memory is still locked up. There's one thing you're failing to address. What's that? As you say, our troupe was a world unto itself. If our leader Magnify was so inclined, he could hide anything he wished with ease. But Mr. Wright, then he would have hid a crime, making it an accomplice. Not a great foundation for blackmail. Well, that's got a point. If one of the troupe members died in an accident, then Magnify covered it up. His innocence would come in question. Found the right address, Mr. Wright? I'm so close, there has to be something about how Thalassa's death could affect Zack and Valant's relationship with Magnify. I see in your eyes. You still have something to say. How can you possibly prove more than you already have? I'll prove why Thalassa's accident led to your hands so completely. With a person. Little knowledge of the players to act this one. The accidental death of Zack's wife tied both your hands, and this information proves why Magnify held so much power over you. And the daughter of Magnify Gramarye. Oh! It wasn't a question of who shot Thalassa. Thalassa herself was the problem. What do you mean? She was Zack Gramarye's wife, Trucy's mom, and Magnify Gramarye's only daughter. There was a terrible accident. and the two of you killed your mentor's only daughter. If that wasn't the key to Magnify's power over you, I don't know what the fuck what was. Thank you. There's no proof, none at all, but Thalassa went missing, and your mentor blackmailed both of his disciples. It doesn't take a genius to put one and one together. Ours was a complex family. You mean Troop Grand Marie? The master, Magnified Grand Marie, his only daughter, and his two disciples. That does sound like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it? Do not be tempted into faulty flights of fancy. Yes, there was an accident, but that is all it was, an accident. Zack and Volant's tour de force. The guns blaze, the bullets fly straight toward that beautiful body on stage, and then crash, saying pow into everything but her. Now that is magic. It happened one day when we were practicing, same trick with a new twist. And tragedy. But as for her bullets stole Thalassa's life, we shall never know the answer. Thalassa disappeared from our lives, and Zack was bereft of his wife. Trucy lost her mom, and Magnify his daughter. And that led to blackmail, I take it. It is all part and parcel of the darkness that comes when the curtain falls. Why did Magnify Grand Marie try to cover up the accident? It was his own daughter who died. All I can say is it was a critical time for Group Grand Marie. A passing of the torch from Magnify to Zack and Volant. We all sacrificed so that it might be a success. Thalassa's death was the greatest sacrifice of all. Yet, even when her life was extinguished, her presence was not. What do you mean? In time, we, myself and Zack, found we could no longer oppose Magnify's wishes. Magnify forced us to perform his art for his benefit. I see. I guess I can understand. I mean, he did lose his only daughter. But did you not find cowardice in his actions? Huh? To decide to hide the truth of your own daughter's death is one thing, but then to hang that death over as a guillotine above our heads? Things were dark behind the scenes in Troop Grand Marie, that's for sure. Does Trucy know? She was not told, naturally. Who would want to know what her father might have taken to her mother's life? True. I had not thought of that accident for a very, very long time. I'm sorry to dredge up old memories, but this has helped a lot. Not to find Magnify's Slayer, I think. True. After that accident, there was one who came sniffing quite persistently. A reporter. He called himself a newsman at the time. Of course, often I spied him lurking about the dressing room doing his research. Would you happen to remember his name? What was his name? Sorry, I have forgotten. But in the course of his interviewing, he became quite close to my partner, Zack. I liked him not. I see. His name, I do not recall, but his scent, the cloying aroma of meat. Yes, whenever he smiled, which was far too often. I see. Thanks for your help. It is no good to interfere with the past, Mr. Wright. You will not uncover answers, only wounds. I'm sorry. There it is. There it is. Remember me? I just have to do that when I see this pose. I can't believe it's been 7 years. I have to stop torturing myself with these things. I know, I'll just pretend it's saying something else. The post office? Why, it's right over there. Good day, sir.
Thank you that had gotten lost in the mail. I'd still be wearing my attorney's badge. Actually, I came because there's something I want to ask you. I've spoken to the press. I have nothing more to say. I've spoken to a lot of people myself and come to some conclusions. But then I realized I needed to hear it from you. I've walked a difficult road these past 7 years because you couldn't perform Magnify's repertoire. Do not be deceived. Vallant's skill is the real deal. I do not require my mentor's hand-me-downs. No, it was my partner who slowed me on my way. Zach Ramery, huh? His rather well-performed disappearing act 7 years ago was the end. Or so I thought. Zach Ramery murdered our mentor and fled to escape punishment for his crime. He said something to that effect 7 years ago, didn't you? I remember it as if it were only yesterday. Yet that was not the way of it in the end. For while he vanished, the suspicions upon my own person it never did. His partner Zach vanished to protect him. That's what those thieving magpies at the press said. I had no idea. But the very same press comes to me now feigning interest. They cover the interest magic shown in the history as if for a validatory distraction. And here I must stand smiling at them all. What am I if not a player of some fiendish farce? Might I suggest it's because you never made it clear what happened? Magnify's death is still a mystery to this day. Which is why I came here to get an answer from you. Just two. I knew I'd be seeing these sooner or later. The audience has no business stepping upon the stage. They must be content to sit and stare at the spotlight. That sounds an awful lot like something I've heard 7 years ago. Ask me what you will, you'll get nothing from me. As much as part of this affair as you are now. I have to know what happened. For 7 long years I've been here. Now, finally, the curtain lifts on my new golden age. All the miracles of our troupe within my grasp. Sorry to do this, Vallant, but right now I need answers. I think I'll start by dropping a bomb. That should shake things up. Vallant, I wouldn't be so sure about those miracles. Not as long as I have this.
Take that!
And what might that be? I see it bears the Gramarye's seal. I should have brought this to your attention sooner, but I didn't imagine you'd be planning your comeback quite so fast. What is this? A document showing the true recipient of the performance rights to Magnify's miracles. What? Zach Gramarye? He wrote this? What? He passed everything to his daughter. Trucy Enigmar. Actually, she's officially my daughter these days. Preposterous. Zach is gone. Vanished into the void. This is a genuine article. Zach was alive when he wrote this. Both myself and a notary can testify to this. Why does fate toy with me so? Why must my life be lived in thrall to the end? You're not the only one with that problem, you know. But he shot Magnify. Yes, it was Zach. It was. And then he left. And my career as a magician fell into darkness. Did you think there might be some way out of it? Say, if you could prove Zach Gramarye shot Magnify? Was that why you testified? Yes, my way out. It should have been my way out. Well, it might not be too late, Mr. Vallant. All you need is a way to prove your case. Who really killed Magnify Gramarye? I don't have anything to do that, so I'll stop. It has to be do something with that fucking annoying ass motherfucking reporter. What if I present him something? Mr. Brushel, do you know who this person? Do I know that person? Of course. I was friends with Zach after all. He hit me a few times, 5 times actually.
But still, I'd never forget his wife, Thalassa Granbury, Magnify Granbury's only daughter. Do you think you could tell me more about her? Well, why the heck not? That was easy. So the Thalassa married Zack and had Trucy, you see. It was her second marriage, actually. You mean she was divorced? I hadn't heard this one before. Not quite. Her late husband was a performer, too. He died in an accident on stage. Tragic, really. They had only been married 1 year. I didn't know. Ah, but she was a beauty. I still carry a portrait photo of her around, you know. It's kind of creepy, you know. I've known Trucy since she was little thing, too. She got the better deal, really. She's got you for family, after all. Can I see that? I didn't get it yet, shit. What do you mean? Just reminiscing, you know. The Thalassa has another child besides Trucy. End quote. What? But Trucy said she was an only child. Ah, yeah. This one she had with her previous husband. Her previous husband? Her first husband who died on stage? Yeah, they had themselves a kid. Another orphan now. That's another one who slipped through the cracks. No idea where they are now. Thalassa had another child. Do you think I could borrow that photo? Sure, I can be generous on occasion, you know. I wouldn't need this locket anymore. Better return it to Trucy before I forget. She looks oddly familiar. She looks really familiar, dude. Wait a fucking second. Is this La Memoire? Or L'Amour? Yo! Wait a minute. This might... Whoa! The bracelets, too. Oh! Okay. This is suspicion, but I... Oh my god. That is insane. Yo, if that's wait. If L'Amour is the mom, and they have 2 kids, and the only 2 people that could have the ability to see that is her, Trucy, and Apollo. That means Apollo and Trucy are siblings. What? What the fuck? What the fuck? Wait a second, let me see this court record again. Profiles, we have Apollo. He's 22 now. And Trucy is 15, so there's a 7-year difference. That literally looks like L'Amour. I could be wrong, but I feel like I'm on the right track here. Oh my god, I can't wait for the end to show up. That's gonna be insane. He's a genius. Alright, we're talking now. Just 3.
Take
But how would she survive if she...
Take that! Take that!
Actually, I know something. Your marriage to Talassa was her second.
How did you know this?
Her first husband, he died a year after they were wed, yes? He was a performer. They met when they joined us at the Grand Maurice as a guest in our show. After Talassa wed him, she left the troupe for a while. And you say she had a child then? I have a photograph of her here. I couldn't help notice what she was wearing when I first saw this. Those bracelets stand out. They are a Grand Maurice family heirloom. This boy wears a bracelet just like the ones in the picture.
What? So, that's why.
Why what, Mr. Zack? I took this photograph of Talassa before she left us. When she returned, she wore only one bracelet. I bet I know where that other bracelet went. She gave it to this boy, her son. Oh! Oh! Incest time! A strange power. I do myself now not know where it comes. Yet the fact is that it was passed down the Grand Maurice line. It runs in her veins. What is it? I asked her, Talassa, once. This is what she told me. Her power responds to tension in others. Tension? If she were to face a person and they became tense, even slightly, then she would know, no matter how hard they tried to hide it from her. So she could see it. Not quite. This is the strangest part of it all. She wouldn't realize that she was subconsciously detecting this tension without the use of a particular object, or in her case, objects. Objects? Wait, were they something she wore? Yes, her bracelets. I admit this first time I saw one of those, I felt there was more to it than just fashion. But what kind of power could a bracelet have? I have made a decision. I will tell you all I know. Consider it a gift. Well, I hardly need you to tell me that at this point, but those two are brother and sister, yes. And the brother too has this power of theirs. So Trucy has an older brother. I wonder what will come of that. Mr. Wright, tonight, after our game is done, I will return to a life of hiding. I would not see her live her life without knowing. I understand. I'll tell the two of them when the time is right. I am in your debt once again. No kidding. What I want to know is how all this got to be so fucking messed up. Those bracelets are made of special alloy. It is said to expand and shrink very slightly in response to body warmth. So they're temperature sensitive or something? Yes. This is how they can shrink to the exact size of the wearer's wrist. And this has something to do with the power? What have I told you? The Grand Maurice power reacts to the tension in others. When a Grand Maurice senses tension, they too become tense. And this tension translates into minute contractions of the muscles. So a minute, they cannot sense it on their own. Their muscles? Oh, so that's what the bracelets are for. With a bracelet on, one can sense these contractions, because the bracelet is always a perfect fit. So when the person they're watching gets tense, the bracelet feels tighter on their wrist. Precisely. But that alone doesn't really count as mind reading. I believe I understand how the process works from there. It's a simple question of eyesight. Eyesight? I guess that sounds simple enough. Have you ever heard of kinetic vision? Something about the ability to see moving objects with full clarity, right? I've heard of it before. They say athletes can see a moving ball like if it was stopped, if they focus. Oh, but it's not to confine to sports alone. It all relies on the ability to focus. When we focus, we can see many things. The faintest twitch of a face, and the meaning that lies behind it. Therein lies one of the secrets of magic. One must know the mind of a crowd before one may distract it. So basically what you're saying is, the Grand Maurice can see really well. For them, seeing is more than believing, it is knowing. Their power relies on eyesight combined with exceptional focus. Things are starting to come into focus for me too. Of course, it is difficult to maintain such levels of focus for any length of time. But what if someone could tell you when to focus? Or something. Precisely. But wait, Trucy doesn't have any bracelets. You are talking about poker, yes. The timing of when to focus is so elementary, she probably does it without thinking. I doubt Trucy herself has realized this. That is all I know of things Grammar-y. Thank you, Mr. Zack. If this boy's bracelet is the real thing, then he will use it before long, thereby awakening his power. I'll keep that in mind. Well, shall we play a game? Ugh, I've said so much. Let me say one more thing. I will tell you of that night. That night? The night my mentor, Magnify Grammar, passed from this world to the next. There were 2 pistols and 2 letters sent. This was Magnify's test. A test? In his last years, Magnify Grammar worked us to the bone. No, to the pain. But that night, I could not shoot him. So I shot the clown's forehead instead. This, it seems, was the correct answer. Take this. I give my art to you, Zack. What? It is thanks for playing along with my show. You shot well tonight, Zack, though I would not have minded dying by your hand. How could I shoot you? You're my mentor. Ugh, I thought you might say that. If I went home without shooting anything, what would you have done then? Then, of course, I would have given Valant his chance. And if I shot you in the forehead instead, then it would be over. If you or Valant were to shoot me in the head, then I too to the darkness would go, and my art with me. A fitting end, don't you think? Yet this ending too gives me no cause for regret. I thank you, Zack. And I'm sorry. I have done much that was wrong in my day. It seems to me that Magnify wanted you to be a successor all along. That's why the time he gave you was earlier than Valant's. Perhaps, but it is not something we'll ever know for sure now. I wonder, what is Valant up to these days? Waiting for you to die? If 7 years pass like this, the performance rights go to him. Ah, and now here I am, and his dream is ended. It's worse than that, actually. Public's opinion's a fickle thing, you know. What? You don't mean to tell me they put the blame for our mentor's death on him? The trial ended when you vanished, Mr. Zack. There were even rumors that Valant helped you pull it off. But that's madness! Well, it seems that before I can once again disappear from this world, I have one more act to perform. Isn't it odd that sorting out my life should prove so complicated? Even though I'm dead? His confession, to use as I saw fit. Of course, he killed no one. This was a way of tying up loose ends with his old partner, Valant Grammar. Zack's confession added to the court record. This is it. Let's go. I believe I have the answer to your prayers right here. Zack Grammar wrote one more thing before passing on. This is a confession, in which he admits to the killing of Magnify Grammar. See? All according to your plan. I am a magician by trade. Deception is my life's work. I have fooled the audience, give them a fleeting dream. Yet, it seems the tables have turned. Now I'm the audience, believing in the audience deceptions I've brought upon myself. Zack wrote this thing right in front of me. After I explained your situation to him. Alaka. You do know what this confession is nothing but lies. Yes, it is my opinion that Zach Gramarye killed no one. Then you must be thinking the truth is a simple matter of elimination. Two received instructions to kill, but if one is innocent, then the one who remains is guilty. That would be the logical conclusion, yeah? So he vanished to protect me, his partner. A stirring tale, it is true. Did you shoot Magnify Gramarye in the forehead? If I had, and I told you, what would I do? What would you do? Run to the police, perchance? Do as you will. There is nothing left for me now. It is true, after all. I have little talent. I needed my mentor Magnify's repertoire. It was as if a little demon grabbed the hold of me. I knew it. So Valant Gramarye did kill the great Magnify. So sorry, Mr. Wright. But if it was... What the fuck? But if it wasn't you, then who was it? There wasn't another disciple, was there? I don't know. Knack and talent, Gramarye, maybe? Your wild fancies couldn't be further from the truth. Only Zack and Valant received those threatening letters. But there was another. One more person could have fired that pistol that night. I don't suppose you figured it out by now. It wasn't Zack or Valant who shot Magnify. Then it had to be the only other person at the scene, which means... Wait. You don't mean... Yes, the great Magnify Gramarye himself. So Magnify Gramarye committed suicide. You find it hard to believe? To be honest, I hadn't even imagined it as a possibility. When I arrived that night, the old man was still alive. He appeared to be asleep. I could not shoot him, but when I turned and made to leave the room, the old man called out to me. So he spoke with Magnify Gramarye. Yes, and this is why I knew what he had done. Magnify transferred the right to his repertoire to my partner, Zack Gramarye, not me. I see. Then I guess I owe you an apology. I always thought you were the one who did it. You owe me no apology. Huh? My crime was, in a way, more serious than that of murder. What? Your crime? Is Valant Gramarye confessing something to me? What could more be serious than murder? You see, I knew that 2 letters had been sent. There are no secrets between partners, it was easy to find out. That was when I understood Magnify's plan. He wanted to die by one of your hands. Little did I expect it had anything to do with the rights to his repertoire. That was when I heard it. The little demon whispering inside my heart. The demon? Let me confess, I had intended to shoot Magnify, and I planned on framing my partner for the crime. What the fuck? That night, I prepared something before going to Magnify's hospital room, which was IV fluid, of course. I'd seen it on the earlier visit. If Zack did not shoot, I would do the deed. Then I would use the IV liquid to replace the murder on his hands. That was my plan. But you didn't shoot him. I could not. The demon in my heart fled when the moment came, but then Magnify called me back. I am sorry, Valant. I'm giving my magic to Zack, not you. You still lack the draw he has. Please help him if you can. I left the room, and then I stopped. The shock of what I just had been told consumed me. That is when I heard that fateful gunshot. Magnify Gramarye killing himself. The demon awoke anew within me. Zack killed him. He was the one. Frame him, and the magic will be yours. I altered the scene of his suicide. I took the pistol from his hand and wiped off the prints. Then I used a syringe to add the IV liquid I brought. So in the end, things happened pretty much as planned. Magnify died and you framed Zack for the murder. As planned, indeed. Of course, the outcome was somewhat different than I anticipated. Well, what do you think? Do you believe my story? Can it be believed truly? That was 7 years ago. I don't know what to believe, but yes, I'm glad I heard it from you, Mr. Valant. Thank you. It is who I should be thanking you, Mr. Wright. Only when I had lost everything could I make my decision. You're going to turn yourself in? My partner may have vanished, but not so my guilt. As my guilt stays, all else begins to leave me. My friends, my performance rights, my magic. I've had enough of vanishing acts. I understand. I thought my life was ruled by a dead man, but I find I was wrong. For Zach Gramarye was alive. Well, not anymore. And now it occurs to me, what if he was not the only one who survived? What do you mean? You see, now that I think about it, I realize that we never saw proof of her demise. We never saw her body. Her? The mind races and mouth flaps on. My apologies, forget this matter. I can only hope that the day will come when I again meet my partner, Zach Gramarye. Then I shall apologize for my terrible mistake. I am glad we had this chance to talk. Thank you. So that basically confirms it. Trucy's mom is alive. Alright, let's finish this shit. Sorry, sir. Prisoner Christoph Gavin is currently occupied. I see. Do you know when he'll be finished? Well... Could you go find out? Certainly, sir. Please wait here a moment. My apologies to the guard, but there's something I need to see. The envelope. There it is. The yellow envelope. In the center is Drew Measham. I was right. When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Measham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. It was a yellow envelope. I heard it was left at the crime scene. If this is the last letter that Drew Measham wrote, then there's something I need to do. The last thing I need to do, in fact. Here goes. Let's see if this attracting spray finds anything. This was Drew Measham's messenger of death. It was a stamp, alright, no mistake in it. And his last letter was sent to Christoph Gavin. The interview request came like you said it would, and they're looking into the case. I swear on my life I won't tell them about you, so please release the spell you've put on my daughter. I'll write later with the report, Drew Measham. Gavin, I didn't know you moonlighted in the listening right. Gavin, there's something I have to ask you. Can I steal your stuff? The answer is no. My apologies, but there's not much I care to discuss. Vera Measham hasn't received her verdict yet. You follow me, Gavin? There are no known survivors of atropine poisoning, but it never hurts to hope. Okay, I'll be leaving now then. Right, wait. Yeah, Gavin. Would you mind leaving that letter? It's private. Oh, sorry. Forgot I had it. Many thanks. We have now seen all the clues in this case. Clues I gathered over 7 long years. Now, it is time. Every story has an ending. We've come to the final chapter, the final trial. Find the truth. You're the only ones who can. Chills. Chills down my spine, dude.